welcome to episode 8 of the Reknit podcast. I'm Roz.
I am Emily.
And together we are Reknit. See? You move your head. There we go. Although the lazy Kate is in the way.
Thank you very much for coming and watching. First of all, apologies for the slight unplanned hiatus. We filmed the last episode a few weeks ago, but it only went up yesterday. It was today. It was about 20 past midnight.
Yeah, it was the very early hours of this morning.
That was due to coming back from holiday and various health stuff, and me being knackered for about 2 weeks, and stuff just not being done.
Also, technical difficulties.
Yeah, not huge technical difficulties. Only tiny technical difficulties.
Immediately after we recorded the podcast, you tried to upload it to your Google Drive, and it failed to do that. So
yeah. But anyway, various things got in the way. So although the podcast only went up, for us recording now, it was early this morning. We had recorded it probably about 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
But we're here, and hopefully there won't be such a long gap between the last one.
Well, this podcast should be like, ooh, suddenly they've done another podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be a bit more routine about our uploads.
Yes.
But anyway, we're here. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I am on Ravelry and Instagram and stuff like that as Elfie McDork.
I'm Rosaroo on Ravelry, although I'm pretty lax about updating my Ravelry. So, you know, if you want to see photos of stuff I've knitted or spun, you should probably check Instagram, where I am Rosarooney.
And I did a massive Ravelry update last week.
Did you?
And took loads and loads of pictures of all my socks and like put all my projects up. So there's loads of new stuff that I've put up on there.
Maybe if I, ever logged into Ravelry, I'd have seen that.
Maybe.
I log in, but I just don't update my stuff.
Okay.
I look at like patterns and yarn and all the important things. Right.
Anyway,
so
hello, welcome. I feel like we may be a bit out of practice.
Well, it was literally 2 weeks ago that we recorded.
Exactly. So we've forgotten how to do this.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in to this craziness.
Should we start with works in progress?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Let's get to the end of this row. I'm currently knitting a small swatch because I've been bitten by the garment bug. This is about 2/3 of a swatch. The bottom is 6 inches, so it's about 6 inches by 4 inches, so another 2 inches on the top. It is out of this Patons.
Oh look, it's all getting washed out by the.
There we are. Patons Merino Wool Dk, which is 100% merino wool. It doesn't have it has a colourway number, which is 00092, but it's basically this grey that you can see on here. It's an interestingly constructed yarn. It's 4 plies, you can see on there, but each of those 4 plies is another 2 plies plied together. So it's 8 plies, but not plied. It's all 8 together. It's plied.
2 plies.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's slightly bonkers, but I suppose that would mean that there's less of each individual ply sort of on the surface of the yarn, and because merino is quite a short staple yarn, it will help reduce pilling. Oh, and it's superwash as well. So I'm knitting it on 4.5mm needles, and it's kind of a bit loose, and I wouldn't like this as the final fabric of my garment, but I'm hoping because it's superwash it will sort of plump up a bit when I've washed it and then set it out to dry. But if it still looks like this when I finish swatching it, I will have to return to the swatching and pick some smaller needles. That's my first work in progress.
Are you swatching for anything in particular?
A vest, because I've got 10 50-gram balls.
Cool.
And I'm making this up. The other thing is a jumper, which I'm making out of, well, I have 11 100-gram balls, and hopefully I'm not going to use all of them, but which is also double knit. This is my second thing that I'm working on. This is my work in progress. This piece is finished. It is massive, you can't see it on there, but it is the back of my tunic from Knit Wear Love that I started. I'd done 6 rows last episode's podcast.
Oh yeah,
weeks
that's
ago.
right.
Now I've knit the whole 34-inch batt.
Wow.
It's coming out a bit wider than it should be based on my swatch. So I'm going to wash it and see if it sort of shrinks back in and fits in with the numbers on my swatch. In which case I can knit the front in the same way. If it doesn't, if it stays this size or even gets bigger, I'm going to have to rejig the numbers for the front to make it slightly smaller. And then because it's going to be mattress stitched, you won't really see the seam that is, you know, slightly too far forward. Right, instead of being like on the middle of my side, it'll be sort of around here a bit, the seam. But because it'll be mattress stitched, you won't know from the outside. So that is my plan, is to wash this and dry it and find out how big this massive piece of knitting actually is. Because it's coming out about 4 inches too wide on this piece, which would be 8 inches too wide all around, and it's already got some positive ease built in, so that an extra 8 inches of positive ease would be too much positive ease. It would, you know, flop off me at the shoulders and make me look like a big camel-y tent. This is Stylecraft Ethical Twist in the camel colour, which is a 70% merino and 70% merino and 30% alpaca yarn, but it is discontinued, so you probably can't buy it anywhere except on a Ravelry D-stash or something like that now. But it's very nice. It's quite it's got a little bit of a halo already, but I guess that's the alpaca kind of fuzzing up. I'm quite looking forward to it being finished and me being able to wear it. I'm hoping this is going to come out too big, and then I won't have to do so much knitting for the front, and then I've roughly done about half of it already.
Cool.
Because I'm only doing like half sleeves. So.
Will it affect the sleeves if it ends up coming round to your front a bit as well? Will it affect the sleeve holes?
Not hugely. I'll have to put I won't have to follow, because one side of the sleeve hole will be like this big and the other side will be like that. I'll have to put it in and not sort of go to the middle, go to the actual middle of the hole rather than where the two pieces join.
Right.
It shouldn't do. Cool. I mean, if that is the case, I'll end up knitting it in sort of 3 different gauges. Because I'll knit this. Well, it will be 3 different gauges, but it'll be 3 different sort of sets of numbers. This will be knit to come out too big. The front will be knit to come out too small, and the sleeves will be knit to come out the right size. So
right.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a lot of maths.
That's complicated.
Well, it's going to be maths either way.
Yeah.
So it's going to be maths, and my final work in progress is something that's, you know, much less confusing. It is the hand-dyed, hand-spun ryeland sock yarn.
That's pretty.
And I'm knitting. This is now sort of about halfway through the heel flap, and I stopped in the middle of a row because I was knitting it while we were out earlier, while Em was picking up her new car. She was signing all these forms and generally being a responsible adult, and I was sat knitting in the corner. So yeah, this is Ryeland.
I do love the colours on that. I think that's awesome.
I'm liking it now. There's slightly more blue. Now I've knit a bit more.
Yeah, it definitely looks purplier than it did, because all of that's quite purpley.
Yeah.
That dark one's kind of a pink, but all of this together does look quite purpley.
Yeah. So this, I'm only knitting a very short cuff on this. I've already started the heel, so the cuff only comes to here, because when I spun it, I think I ended up with about 250-ish meters, which for socks for me means short cuffs. So if I actually do some more knitting on this, I should be, you know, shortly onto the foot and nearly there. So those are all my works in progress.
That's all of them. Right, cool, lovely job. I'm going to have a swig of a drink because I'm warm and thirsty. Well, my work in progress is literally this, and I literally started it just as we started recording.
Yeah.
I am also swatching for a sweater. This is Stylecraft Special DK, which is the same as the stuff that I knit my flax sweater out of. We saw it the other week, and this is in the colour copper.
Do you want to show the picture?
Hang on, it's on the front.
Oh, there's a bigger picture there.
Oh, it's not on the front. Oh, okay. So I'm doing the classic pullover. This is from Knitwear Love, as Roz's sweater is. And if you look at the podcast from last week, you'll see us talking a bit more about this book. And this is the one that I'm knitting in not a dissimilar colour.
That's a little bit brown.
This is a bit browny, yes, but it's, you know, not too far off.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this one. I want it to have probably about as much ease as there is in this picture. So I want it to fit a tiny bit more than my flat sweater did, because that was slightly baggier.
But that one had no shaping from once you'd done the sleeves.
Yeah. No, the flax doesn't have any shaping, whereas this one does.
This one will have some shaping.
So I'm just swatching for gauge, and yeah, and then I need to figure out pattern sizes and sizings and do all the kind of maths and all that sort of stuff. So that will come later. But for now, I am swatching.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It's a nice colour for a jumper, nice and sort of autumny, and it'll look nice, I hope. So yeah. That's the first thing. That's literally all there is of it. The second thing, there is a lot more of. Oh, what did I just do there? I'm just pulling all my stitches off. The second work in progress I have, there is a lot more of. And this is because it was almost exclusively what I've been knitting since the last podcast. And I've done a heck of a lot of it. So these are my Mrs. Weasley's Family Socks, knitted in the Molly Weasley colourway. And I decided I wanted to put a contrast heel and toe in. So this is the Fab Funky Fibres yellow that I showed on the podcast a few weeks back, and I thought they would make a really nice contrast, and they do. So first sock is done, and this is it. The Mrs. Weasley's Family Sock pattern is from a homespun house, and it's available on Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern. Yeah, and it's on Ravelry, and this is the first one, which is done, and the second one I am now working on the foot of. So the leg has been done and the heel is in, and I'm just working on the foot, and then decrease for the toe, and then put the toe in, and it's done. And I'm keeping this in my new bag from iKnit that I showed last podcast, in the pyramid bag. I love it. It's really good. It's really nice, and it fits the yarn in really nicely, and you can put it in and just have it come straight out of the bag, which I like a lot. It's a lot easier.
How are you getting on with the zip? Because that's the reason I didn't buy one of those.
It's not a problem. I don't know. It doesn't get caught on it or anything.
Yeah.
It never gets caught. I've never had it get caught or caught in the zip.
And you can zip it like most of the way up to the top to have it sort of feed out through a tiny
Well, I could
hole.
do, but I don't. I just have it like this. But because there's, I'm talking about it, it's on my lap, you can't see it. Because there's not a big gap, you don't need to have it zipped up. The ball stays in.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing for it to come out of. So yeah, I just have it sat, and it'll sit on the table or sit on the sofa. And yeah, no, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it looks like a little tent as well. It's got tents on it.
Yeah.
It's like a little tent.
Like a little teepee.
And it fits nicely in my bag. And yeah, so it's fabulous. This will be done pretty swiftly, I imagine. Yeah, it's a lovely pattern. And this Mrs. Weasley's Family Sock is being knit, where's my thing out of the Molly Weasley colourway, as I think I might have said, from Paper Stories. There we go, there's a card for that. I'm definitely going to get more of her yarn because it's beautiful, and she does so many different Harry Potter themed colourways, and you know, like Fantastic Beasts and all this kind of stuff. She's got loads of them, so I'm going to go and definitely seek some more out at some point, but I'm going to be so chuffed with these socks. This one is gorgeous. I love it. And it's such a nice colour.
It is, and it's a pretty pattern.
It is. And it's just, it's all, you know, Mrs. Weasley. It makes me very happy. Right, I think, oh no, my other socks that I've barely looked at. Although I think I was starting them last podcast. I don't remember. So I was doing afterthought heel socks. Both the socks are done. They as yet don't have heels.
Yeah, you've done the socking.
I've done the sock bit. So this is the Parker and Penelope colourway and the West Yorkshire Spinners. But I feel like I've said that 500 times already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the socks are done. They've both got toes on. They just need afterthought heels being put in. And I found it really difficult to find a true afterthought heel pattern on Ravelry because they're all ones where you put waste yarn in first.
And you haven't done that.
So no, I didn't do that because I didn't want to. And so I have found one. I think I found it on someone's blog somewhere.
Oh.
So I need to find it again so I can use the pattern to put the heel in. But yeah, it's if anybody knows an easy afterthought heel pattern that's on Ravelry, that's a true afterthought heel that involves cutting the stitches rather than putting waste yarn in as you're knitting, please tell me, because I can't find one. And that is all of my works in progress.
Okay. Have you got any finished objects?
I do.
Want to show some finished objects?
Okie doke. My socks are very much on a colour theme, I feel.
Yeah.
What with the gingerbread man ones I did a few weeks ago, and
Yeah.
these are my finished business casual socks. Tannis Fibre Arts business casual socks, knit with stranded dye works, Oasis fingering in the colourway Scorcher, and aren't they beautiful? I said last podcast that I didn't want to finish it because I wanted to show them on my sock blockers. Here they are on my sock blockers, looking fabulous. And I was watching the Grocery Girls' latest podcast at yours the other day, and they were talking about Tannis Fibre Arts, and they were saying that I think they've done a couple of their jumpers and they wanted to try the business casual socks. So here are the business casual socks. This is what they look like.
Yeah.
And they're made out of stranded dye works yarn, and they're awesome and dead easy to do, and I fully recommend them. So these have been sat on sock blockers for days because I wanted to wait until we've podcasted. And now we've podcasted, so I can wear them. So that's good.
Sacrifices we make for, you know.
Yeah, but look, I've got like definitely got like an autumnally colour theme. And...
Well, those are like an autumnal orange, and these were the summer scorcher orange.
Yes,
so,
that's true. This is brownie colour, as in brownie guides. If you're from the UK and you were a brownie, you will recognise that this is like a brownie colour with the brown and the yellow heels.
Yes.
So, you know, I could call these my brownie guide socks if I wanted to.
If you're our age, you will probably have memories of the horrible, horrible brown culottes.
No, I'm older than you, and I had the brown dress because I had the old brownie uniform.
Yeah.
You had the new brownie uniform, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, with the horrible, horrible.
You had the brown culottes. I had the brown dress with the brown bobble hat.
Yeah.
My mum has pictures of it somewhere, I'm sure.
If you were a brownie more recently than that, congratulations.
I was a brownie in the 80s.
Yeah. I was only born in the 80s. I was not going to be a brownie.
Well, I was only born in the 80s, but like earlier in the 80s. So
she's very old.
Right. Have you got finished object?
Yes, I have. Also a pair of socks. These are the socks I was midway through knitting my second sock off on last week's podcast. They are finished. They are out of Opal X-large, which is a sort of double knit sock yarn. It's got some nylon in, like all the Opal, I think all the Opal sock yarn. And this is one colour up here, up to here. And then it's this other colour pattern. But they're very nice, they fit nicely, they are nice and warm. Yeah, basically very good socks.
You happy with your socking?
Yep, very pleased with the socks.
Excellent, that's good.
I've now got 3 pairs out of what were 2 pairs of socks, and they're all more wearable than the 2 pairs were.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, so that was a big improvement on the sock front.
Good. I feel like this week's podcast is going to be a bit lighter than the last couple of weeks, because last week we had loads of stash announcements, and the few weeks before we both had boatloads of spinning.
Yeah.
So if this week feels slightly lighter.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a really quick one, even though we've had 2 weeks to, do stuff.
Yeah, well, I've been like sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
I can't knit when I'm asleep.
Yeah.
It's not yet a talent I have acquired.
No.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, we've been busy with non-knitting and
non-spinning.
It's
horrific. It's been, awful.
Oh, you poor bubba.
Yeah. Right, so are we up to spinning?
We are.
We've done some spinning.
Yes.
It's amazing. I can't show you my spinning because it's on the wheel, but I can show you the fibre that I have been spinning.
Yes.
This is what I got from
Alterknit Universe.
That's the one. Alterknit Universe. It is 100% Eco Bamboo Davina, and it's vegan, so that's good because it's bamboo, so vegan. Unless you're a, panda.
I think pandas. Yes. Well, I think it's still vegan if you're a panda.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think if you're a panda, it's accidentally made out of slaughtered chickens.
So this is from Alterknit Universe, which is where we went to do a lot of the Tour de Fleece spinning, and I bought this there. As you can see, it's kind of, you know, got little tails where I've been taking bits off to spin, so I have some left. My intention is that I'm spinning this as a single. I'll work out when I take it off the bobbin if that's feasible or not. I'll see what characteristics it has. I might ply it. I'll see, but I'll ply it on itself probably, because I want to. I don't have like a specific item I want to knit, but I know kind of what I want to use it for. So I need to see what qualities it has when I take it off the bobbin. I may ply it. I'll see.
What do you want? What type of item do you want it to be used for?
I think I'm making a shawl,
Ah.
but it's going to be a present for someone.
Ooh.
But I need to see what the yarn is like first and decide if I want to ply it or what.
Yeah.
So it's something.
Yeah, I'm not sure with keeping bamboo as a single, because when you keep wool as a single, you normally try and felt it a little bit. I don't know whether you can felt bamboo a bit.
No, I
or
don't
whether
know.
It would be...
Well, I might ply it with itself.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. But it'll be something. I mean, either way, there's going to be acres of it. So even if I have to chain ply it, which I probably won't do because I'm not very good at it at the moment, and it tends to turn out a bit ropey. Like literally, it tends to turn out like rope or stringy, really, I suppose. Because the stuff that I've chain plied before has been very, I think it's over plied, so it's turned out, it had a slightly string-like consistency. So I might not do that. I mean, if I 3-ply it, I might just put it into 3 singles, split it into 3 and do it that way. Either way, I will do something with it, and hopefully it will turn into a gift for somebody. So we'll see how that little project goes.
Yeah.
But that's all I've been doing, although I'm spinning it quite thin, so I have done quite a bit of it. But I can't show you because the bobbin is still on the wheel. Hopefully by next time it might be maybe done, or I might have just got bored and taken it off. We'll see. That's it for my spinning.
Yeah, my spinning is similar. I can't show it to you because it's not here. It's at home. But what I am spinning is my batt that I won from Alterknit Universe, the Tour de Fleece team competition. It's this mixture of linen and various wools. I've split the batt up into, well, I split it in half and then split it up into chunks and then sort of pulled out little bits and been spinning long draw from miming long draw from the fold.
Don't mind me, I just have to look up a thing about my stash enhancement.
And I literally spun it because on the last week's episode I'd said I'd taken my wheel to Surrey and not spun.
Oh, yeah.
And so after we'd finished podcasting, I thought, right, I must spin to have made bringing this wheel on a 200-mile round trip worthwhile. So I spun, I don't know, about 20 grams maybe, if that, 10, 20. So yeah, just a little bit. The linen is proving a challenge to long draw, but I'm liking it so far.
Good.
Yeah, but that was literally 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
Have you done any spinning since, or have you been jumper knitting?
I've been obsessed with the jumper.
No. They get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah. Well, it's all your fault.
I know.
You started knitting a jumper, and now you have a
No,
jumper.
it's just all. Well, I mean, in a perfect world, that is the desired outcome of knitting a jumper. Is to then have a jumper.
Yeah.
If you're knitting a jumper and then you do not have a jumper, unless that's the intention, you're going to give it to someone as a present.
Yeah.
If you're knitting a jumper and then you don't have a jumper, that's a sad,
Yeah.
a sad day for you, really.
If you knit a jumper and then there isn't a jumper. Like,
well, something's gone wrong.
yeah.
Knit a jumper and found you've accidentally knitted socks or something. I was knitting a jumper, now I have 5 pairs of socks. I don't know how it happened. Anyway. Cool.
So that's it for me, for spinning.
I was just looking up on my Etsy to get the details of some of the stuff that I had for a stash enhancement. Stash enhancement is now.
Yeah. That's all back. It's back to being an all M segment.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have a lot. I ordered
all that copper to knit your jumper.
Oh yes, that's true. I forgot about that. Well, I've kind of gone over that bit already.
Yeah.
I have lots of balls of this. It's going to be a jumper.
They're all that colour.
They're all this colour.
All that ball of yarn.
Yeah, it's like this times 7.
Yeah.
So I got this from my local yarn shop, which is just over the road from my house, conveniently. Who was very nice. She held it for me, and I think I'll put the link for the wool stock in the description.
Okay.
And then we can, send people her way if they
Yes.
happen to be in the area. It's a
Yes.
lovely little shop, and the girl who runs it is lovely. And
she has an online shop, so if you want to shop online, you can do that from anywhere with a computer.
yes, so that I got that. Oh no, what else? I did get something else.
You're gonna.
I got a thing in here from the Wool Stop when I went with my friend.
Oh, it's
and
not
got the bag.
yarn.
I got I got like a bag with sheep on.
No.
It's just like a reusable shopping bag type thing. Actually, it's currently holding all the cardboard for my recycling. But I also got,
Oh.
and it's a kitty, and it has a bobbly tail, and then it's a tape measure. And then to put the tape measure back in, you press the kitty's nose.
Oh.
And she has loads of different animal ones with like little pom-pom tails. So considering that I lost my last tape measure, I feel it may still be under the sofa at your parents'.
Oh.
Because that's where I lost it and I haven't seen it since. So it may appear. But I got myself a little kitty tape measure with a little bobbly tail. So there we go. There was that.
Yeah.
But my main stash enhancement was some fibre. And I got it from Etsy and I needed to go back onto the Etsy listing to remember what it was. This was from Beth Connor's Textiles from Etsy, and I've got two quite similar looking, but they're actually different fibres as it happens. Braids. This is the first one. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can see it. That's the first one. It's like greens, kind of an aqua-y marine green, some dark pinks. There's a bit of teal in there as well, a bit of turquoise. And this one is, now which one's this? I think that's this one. So this is it's merino tops. Yeah, so this is just merino wool. This one. I'm sure that's, yeah, this is the one with the silk in, I think, because it feels silky. Yeah, so that's just merino, and this one has silk in. I think that's the right way around.
Which one do you think has the silk in? That one?
Maybe.
That one looks duller. That one looks to have more of a slight shine.
This must be the one with the silk in
I
there.
think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, because that's got more purple in, and the one with more purple in has the silk in. Yeah, no, so this is the one with the silk, and this is just the plain merino.
Merino is very matte fibre.
Yeah, the one with the more purple in, so you can see that one. They're quite similar colours, but that one's got more greeny blues and yellows in, and then that one has more purples in, but they're quite similar colours.
They're very pretty colours.
I imagine it's probably the same merino wool, because they're almost the same colours, with some silk blended into some. But they were so pretty, I just thought, I fancy some of that. So I've got two nice long braids. I think it was 100 grams of each, I'm pretty sure. Looks like it.
Yeah.
Ish. So I have two long braids to spin at some point in the future, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, I think we should address the elephant in the room, shouldn't we, really? Stash.
Yeah, we're both. Stash finished on Sunday. I finished up with about 12,500 metres. So
It's not to be sniffed at.
No, but I already posted in the 15-kilometre
Oh, you made a commitment.
thread. So,
But still, not to be sniffed at.
yeah. So I failed at Stash. Because, well, I did not meet my stated
You didn't
goal.
meet your goal, but you did
But
still
I-
do,
you know,
a lot.
Yeah, it was because I was knitting this, and this is A, not finished, and B, not 2,500 metres worth of knitting. But, you know, I'm really enjoying the jumper. And I want there to be an actual jumper I can actually wear sooner rather than later. So.
I have no idea about my stash, to be perfectly honest. I genuinely don't have a clue. I don't think I got to 7k, but I reckon I probably got quite close.
Yeah, you definitely got to 5k. You could have very easily posted in the 5k thread.
I haven't posted it anyway because
No.
I'm too lazy and I couldn't be bothered to work out all my weights, and so I was lazy and yeah. But you know, I got lots of spinning and knitting and stuff done. So hooray! Maybe next year I'll do it in a slightly more organised fashion.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't measure and weigh stuff as I went along, so I ended up forgetting what I'd weighed and.
So I wrote it all down in a little notebook.
Yeah, maybe I should do that next year.
Yeah.
Because I just got lost and confused. But I do think that my output of stuff was definitely a lot higher than if I'd not been doing Stash.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely made more things
Yeah.
than I would have done if I wasn't doing
Yeah.
it. So,
I think I was definitely encouraged to crack on with the crochet blanket, which ended up
that's
being
true. Huge.
Yeah, would have been over a third of my finished meterage if I'd actually finished.
And now you have a
5,000.
blanket.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
Instead of a
awesome.
whole load of piles of crocheted squares sitting on the windowsill.
Yeah. It's now an actual thing.
Yeah, it's now a usable crochet blanket which can keep somebody warm.
Yeah.
Or, 2 people warm.
Yeah.
Possibly 3 or 4 smaller people warm.
Yes. Maybe 2 people and a dog.
Yeah, it's a functional item. Now,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah. So, kind of not really
Yeah.
so much a sort of fail. I mean, you didn't meet your goal, but we definitely both were
Dashed
more
not stashed.
productive than we would
Yeah.
have been otherwise. We just kind of got to the end and went, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
So, I'll be more vigilant about it next year.
Yeah. I kept up with writing everything down in my
Yeah.
little notebook, but I didn't keep up with posting photos of everything to the thread.
I didn't post anything.
Yeah.
So
if I'd had a post, well, it still wouldn't have mattered because I was still short. But you can make a post in a non-specific. You can make a post in a general thread, and then copy it to the thread that actually, the finish line thread.
because you can't post in more than one length. So you can't be like, I'm doing 10k, and then towards the end going, I've changed my mind, I'm doing 7k.
Yeah.
Once you post it in the thread, then that's your goal.
Yeah. But if you don't want to commit until near
Yeah.
the end, you can wait till the last day and copy a post, or make a post from scratch, or copy a post over from I think it's the chatter thread.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe next year I will do that, and then I will actually
Yes.
finish. Although if this year I got 12.5 without, well, I had about 1,000 in sort of almost finished socks in our very first episode, and then I had
that's
about maybe a half, maybe not quite a half of the blanket finished. So I think next year I could be a bit more, or maybe a bit more organised.
Just don't finish anything after about March. You'll have no finished objects on the podcast for 2 months, and then the first one after Stash Dash, you'll be like, I have 57 finished pairs of socks.
Now that I think about it, that's probably a bad thing for the podcast.
Make lots of jumpers, but just don't seam them up. And then, just before Stash Dash, you'd be like, look, I finished 4 jumpers this week.
I don't think seaming counts as finishing.
Is it not? No, you have to actually knit some of it.
I think if it's a knitted jumper, you have to actually knit some of the jumper. Otherwise it doesn't count. But anyway,
Anyway, a slightly shorter, although it's 35 minutes, so, probably not that much shorter.
We've done, a fair amount of waffling. But, if you've watched one of these podcasts before, you were kind of probably expecting that.
Yeah. But we now go into sort of a bit like a time where there is no Stash Dash and there is no Tour de Fleece. So it's kind of our average knitting output for a little while. But the podcast definitely helps with the motivation to get stuff done.
Yes.
So here's to a very productive time for the next, till next summer, I suppose.
Now, the next thing is Christmas knitting.
Oh, yes, that's true. Now, that's going to be tricky because family members watch the podcast, which means we're going to spend a month or two going, I've knit loads of stuff and can show you absolutely none of it. So, that could be interesting.
Yeah. Like, I've knitted a mystery item.
Yes, I've knitted mystery item number 1, mystery item number 2, mystery item number 3. Our podcast is 10 minutes long because we can't show you anything. Thanks, good evening. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe you could show a corner and be like, this is a gift. Here's a corner of it. There you go.
Yeah, I will not specify for whom the gift is for.
Yes, well, that could be another game. You could be like, I'm making this. I'm not telling you who it's for.
Yes.
You'll have to see if you can guess if it's yours.
I'm making this.
But then you might be making something really nice for someone, and someone else who watches the podcast could come up to you and be like, I bet that's for me, isn't it? Because it's really nice. And then you'd be like, oh God, no, I have to move it for you because you think it's for you. Oh no. You'd be like, no, I'm sorry.
You might have to, work a little bit on that.
We wouldn't want to offend anyone by making lots of beautiful hand knit gifts on the podcast and then being like, here's some biscuits for you.
Here's a
Goodness
voucher. I spent all of 10 seconds purchasing by the till somewhere.
Well, I think we dug ourselves into that hole, really,
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah, we'll think of something.
thank you so much
Yes.
for watching. Here's to some jumpers and stuff occurring over the next week or so.
Yes.
And hopefully...
Actual jumpers rather than, you know, piles of bits of jumper.
Yes.
Or small tents.
Yeah. Jumpers that fit. Jumpers with arms. Who knows? And we will see how it goes. I'm hoping that we get podcasts out on a slightly more regular basis than the last couple of weeks.
Now that we're not in the middle of the summer holidays and travelling about the country.
No. So we'll see what happens next.
See if we can settle into a regular schedule.
Yeah.
How do you say that? Schedule or schedule?
Schedule, because that's the British way of saying it.
Okay.
Schedule is the American way of saying it. Like lieutenant and lieutenant.
Okay.
On that note,
Thanks very much for watching.
thank you.
Goodbye.